It can't be that time already. Yes, it is. Hiramashima has released, or should I say, we got these scanlations early for E.N.'s Zero. It's going to be weird, like, not talking about this series anymore for, well, for at least a little while longer until the anime comes out, but E.N.'s Zero. This is something I've been low-key excited for, worried for, just anticipating just any details at all that we can get on the series, and there are 6 spoilers for the most part, including the front cover on this list, which gives us some juicy information about 1, about the world, 2, about the characters, and 3 as well, a lot of stuff that we've been talking about with the art style as well, which gives us a lot of things that can say about our world, our characters, and particularly where this series could go. Because when I first looked at this, I was like, okay, he's been talking about he wants to give us something different, he wants a new fresh after doing fantasy magic series after for so long, and now we get them. So I'm excited to actually finally reveal to you guys for the first time E.N.'s Zero Chapter 1. Now, we got the front cover, which also shows our main characters, which even till this point, we still haven't got any official real names yet for these characters, so until now and all that, a lot of people have just been calling him, like, Grey Natsu, for the most part. We've got our Lucy character, which, to be fair, like, now looking at, even though she has this kind of same facial style and all that, I kind of like her little design a little bit more than just, like, Lucy's original one. I still think I like at least the most, but then even as well, like, that's just fucking, you know, there's no way going around it. It's like, it's just happy, just there. One thing that's interesting is that this is going to be a long chapter. This is going to be 81 pages of material that we're going to be talking about. So the official translation should be coming out. We were told that it was going to come out like 27th, 28th, but the translation, like the fan subs, this is probably either going to be, depending how hard they work, we can get this tomorrow or the day after on there. But yeah, let's jump into it, which we get our first picture, which, again, apologies for the quality of the scanlations, but they are really poor quality from what we've gotten so far. It seems a lot of them were just taken on their phones. We get confirmation immediately, this is a space series. This is going to be sci-fi. We get to see something that looks like a dragon. It looks like some sort of wyvern, like, spaceship as we're traveling by, and we look at this thing and I was like, wait, is this like, so if this is the case, then it's like this is going to be based, or at least it's going to be in the same universe, or it's going to be thousands and thousands of years after Fairy Tail was, like, after that was over. And I'm wondering, did they base dragon technology into their ships? Like, what is going on here? When we're looking at this design, it's like, is this like the main ship or our main place where a lot of our characters belong? Like, what is going on with this? And the next picture we get to see is our main character looking quite furious, so I think it's safe to say that we know that something's going to piss him off, which is no doubt, like, I imagine it's going to be a lot like the first chapter of Fairy Tail Raid, where it's going to be like some no-name villain like fucking Boro, that they attack like space pirates or something. Like, maybe we might get some Captain Harlock kind of shit in here. The next one, though, when we look at it, this was the one where it really bugged me, where I'm like, I've seen this face, I've seen kind of like how this looks, and you're like, that's right there, that's just how Natsu is. And it's the same thing where it's like, yeah, no, like, that is exactly how we've kind of seen with his art style, and it's like, it's been such a short time since Fairy Tail ending, and of course also his designs and all that. Again, I really wish there was a little bit more changing to his art style since the last time we've seen him, but I will say, like, even still, I don't know, I would rather have this than I would rather have, like, Boruto looking like absolute shit. Like, that was the thing where I was like, Boruto's gone a lot better, but those first, like, 3-4 chapters of Boruto looked fucking awful. They looked absolutely, like, horrendous, and it's like, would I rather have a copy, or would I rather just have something that's just inferior and horrible looking compared to its original version? It's like, yeah, no, as much as it is, I'd rather have the copy for the most part, but even still, I can't defend it when it's like, this is an exact panel I've seen of Natsu. This is just what it is, like, kind of reskin. So I will say that much. However, the next one is that we get to see a little bit of opponents and more confirmation on the whole sci-fi thing, is because we get to see our main character facing off against a bunch of cyborgs, like, or robots for the most part, or even like kind of androids from what we get to see. A lot of them kind of look that way, and it's like no confirmation of what this guy's ability is, whether or not he is an android, whether or not what his entire deal is. We don't know anything yet so far, apart from he seems to have immense strength, which doesn't say anything at all when you're a manga for antagonist. It's like, oh, you're slightly strong. So overall, like, I want to see a little bit more like of him on there, because we get to see like what clearly is like one of the final pages that we get to see is him like completely like putting his fist through some sort of cyborg. Like, he goes right through it, and it's like, that is all we've got so far in the confirmation on there. And even as well with the Japanese text, it's kind of hard to tell. It seems more like he's kind of screaming at the opponent and not doing a sort of technique or anything. So one thing, yeah, he's not using fire, he's not using any of that stuff. And another interesting thing is that all of these spoilers that we've seen so far, unless we get more like further down the line, or even just talk about the Raw, we don't get to see any other of the characters so far, or we don't know kind of what they're doing. So it seems like the main character is just going to be stealing, of course, like a lot of the spotlight on this one. But I didn't know if we were going to have duo antagonists like we had with Ray, and Fairy Tail. Like, cause so far and all that, I'd be curious to see what they do with this one. Are we going to have the same sort of detail where it's like Lucy and Natsu, Haru and Eddie, like, because where we've been going from, even though they're on the front cover together, like, a lot of it was kind of hinting that we were going to have 3 characters this time. We're going to have the blonde guy, we're going to have this this new protagonist, and then also as well our new like female protagonist as well. So I'm wondering, it's like, what is going to go on with this series? And unfortunately, we're not going to know until like until maybe another 24 hours or so. So far, the information that we know so far about the series is that it is sci-fi. We know a little bit about our main protagonist. We know that clearly there's going to be some battle and action into it. We know that there are probably space pirates involved. We know more what's going on kind of with the art style as well. And yeah, no, some of that stuff, like, we knew coming in from the start what was going to be happening. I'm glad, like, it really makes me interested with the designs as well, where it's like, what is that? Is that, like, based off, like, the Dragons Fairy Tail? Like, what is going on with that? I need to find out more details on that, and I'll be trying to cover this series as much as possible in the near future, but I want to know what you guys think so far, the spoilers that we've seen so far. What do you think of the new protagonist? Are you a little bit bummed out by the art style, kind of not changing for the most part? And overall, I need to see more of your details. That's all from me, though. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you guys, though, next time.